because there isn't much that'll kill the mood faster than her catching you staring at some other woman's ass. I mean, come on. Hey, so let me ask you, do you have a date coming up, or do you have something coming up on the calendar where you're potentially gonna be around a lot of different women? Or what about even taking your wife or your partner out to dinner this weekend? If so, do you want to learn a couple things you can do to help your chances of winning her over? And if that sounds intriguing, stick around because I've got 7 subtle things you can do coming right up. All right, welcome back to my channel, and as always, I'm glad that you're here. So let's jump right into it with the very first thing you can do on a date to help win her over, and it's breaking the touch barrier, especially in a crowd. Touch is a really big one, and there are several different reasons why it's important. Firstly, security. Let's say you're with someone new, or even if you've been married for 25 years and the two of you are out to dinner or at a lounge somewhere for drinks. Touch lets her know that you're paying attention to her and that she means something to you. It also sends the signal to other people that you're involved and that you're together. Because if you're just sitting across the table from each other and you're not fully engaged with her, you might as well be your brother or a coworker. But if you're fully engaged in conversation with your partner and your body language is also indicating that, she feels more secure. Because if your body language is closed off to her but open to the room, that kind of sends a signal that you're available and not fully into who you're with. And you better believe she can pick up on that as well as everybody else in the room. I get it though, because if you've been with somebody for a very long time, it's easy to forget those subtle details. And if you're in a date situation with somebody brand new, I mean, she's nervous. Hell, you're both a little bit nervous. So breaking the touch barrier is one way to let her know that you're glad to be there. Because if you guys aren't touching each other in some small manner during the course of the date, there's added tension and you both can feel it. And if you're just trying to be polite and a nice guy and hands off, you run the high risk of placing yourself in the friend zone. So I would suggest going in for a hug right when you meet up. And if it seems awkward, maybe do the little one-arm side hug situation, but if at all possible, break the touch barrier right away with a short hug right when you greet. A couple other ways you can break the touch barrier is to touch her during conversation to make a point or to emphasize something like, holy smokes, I've got to tell you what happened to me last week. Now, of course, depending on how you're sitting or standing, it might be a little touch on the forearm below the elbow or the upper arm. And that can also be a nice way to kind of wake her up a little bit, and now you'll have her full attention. Another way to break the touch barrier is to hold her hand. So say you're at a restaurant waiting for your table. Maybe you guys are in the bar having a cocktail when you get notified that your table is ready. You can take her hand and lead her to the table. Now, if she pulls away or lets go, maybe she might not be ready for that. Or maybe it was just awkward because she was carrying her drink and her purse. You've got to gauge this stuff for yourself and find out whether or not she's comfortable, because that's very important. But if you have the opportunity, there's nothing wrong with trying. Okay, before I continue, I want to let you know that what I'm sharing with you in this video isn't stuff I'm just dreaming up for myself. Now, I naturally do a lot of these things for myself already, but when I was planning this video, I asked 6 different women their opinions on this topic. 2 of them I had just met 20 minutes prior, so they weren't holding anything back. Now, there were a lot of common things that got repeated by pretty much everyone, so what I'm conveying in this video are real suggestions from real women. I just want to put that out there for some context. Okay, another thing you can do is, say the 2 of you are sharing a bottle of wine over dinner or appetizers, refill her wine glass with permission. That's the key here, because you need to ask her permission if you can pour more wine for her. Chances are she'll say yes, but if you do it without asking, it kind of looks like you're trying to get her drunk, and that's just kind of creepy. Okay, let's say you guys meet at a bar, or maybe after dinner you guys leave and go get a cocktail somewhere else. Ask her if you can order something for the both of you that neither one of you have ever had before. This is kind of like a leap of faith that you're both taking together. And it's kind of a fun adventure. And if you're at a nicer bar, you can ask her what she normally likes to drink. And say it's vodka based. You can ask the bartender or the mixologist to make something they recommend using vodka. This way, It's a complete surprise, and you guys can have a good laugh about it and maybe also find your new favorite drink that you both discovered together. All right, let's pause on dinner and drinks for just a minute and talk about how you dress on this adventure. Style and how you carry yourself is a very important element in winning her over, because in her mind, number one, she sees that you look great, but she also notices that you paid attention to selecting your attire, your accessories, and even your fragrance. Instead of showing up in old jeans and a t-shirt, you took a little more time to select the right pair of pants, the right shirt, the right shoes, the right watch, and the right fragrance. That does not go unnoticed, my friend. Women, as you already know, are very observant. They put in a lot of effort to look presentable for you, and they notice when you put in effort for them. They also notice accessories like your watch, your glasses, your sunglasses, your wallet, your keys, and even your phone case, and any rings that you might be wearing. And it isn't so much that she notices this stuff because she's interested in it, but it's more that she'll notice if things appear off. Let me explain. If you're all suited and booted and you pull out a Velcro Spider-Man wallet with duct tape holding the sides together, or if you're carrying 25 keys like your high school custodian, or if you're wearing a neon pink watch from 1994, in the context of your overall appearance, it just looks off, right? Now, I'm not saying that you can't inject some personality into your accessories, but I might avoid the Superman t-shirt until she's able to warm up to your personality a little bit more. Because remember, if this is somebody new, she doesn't have the privilege of knowing you yet. And because the topic today is how to win her over, it's best not to shock her with something that could potentially be misunderstood. Okay, the next way you can win her over is to pay attention when she's talking. Be a good listener, and if she starts talking about a situation with a bitchy coworker or some family drama going on with her sister, just listen. Don't try to solve her problems and don't try to fix it. This is a tough one for me because as a man, I just want to fix things, and I can probably come up with like 9 different ways to handle the situation and fix the problem, and I'm sure that a lot of you can relate. But for the most part, that's not what she wants. She wants to know that you hear her and understand her and have her back. And I've got to stop myself from trying to fix things like all the time because in my simple mind, and I might be speaking for the majority of the male population here, but if you're telling me you've got a problem, I'm assuming that you want that problem fixed. But that's just not always how it works, my friend. However, if the toilet's leaking, that's a problem she wants you to fix. And here's another biggie, and it sort of gets back to paying attention and being fully engaged in your time with her, and it's to not look around at other women that might be in the room or walking by, because there isn't much that'll kill the mood faster than her catching you staring at some other woman's ass. I mean, come on. Imagine sitting there with a woman enjoying a nice evening only to watch her constantly looking at guys walking by. After a while, if it continues, it's pathetic and it's time to leave. That's how she feels. Now, even if you think you're pretty good at being sneaky about it, she can tell. Lastly, gentlemen, and this one should go without saying, but open the door for her. Whether it's the car door or an entry door, hold the door and be a gentleman. And hopefully, this will never go out of fashion because for me, at my age, and I've always felt this way, I will always believe that opening doors for women is a quality foundation as deep as the bedrock that my fathers before me stood on as they made their way generation after generation. It's true. I've got old school values and I won't apologize for it. The younger generations might believe something different. But for me, it's all about getting back to simple beliefs of treating others as you would like to be treated. And if you keep a little bit of that mindset with you, you'll be okay. And as always, my friends, thank you for watching, live well, and I'll see you in the next one.